There's a moment that most men completely miss, not because they aren't paying attention, not because they lack feeling, but because no one ever explains it. And it happens in the instant her arms wrap around you. A hug might seem simple, a greeting, a farewell, a friendly gesture. But if you've ever felt her linger just a little too long, pull away too soon, or press herself against you in a way that made your heart skip, then listen closely. What you experienced is far more than a simple embrace. It's a window into her inner world. Women often reveal more through their hugs than they do with words. This isn't just poetic language, it's grounded in psychology. Many women are taught to restrain what they say, to hold their emotions in check verbally. But the body does not lie. Her nervous system communicates honestly, instinctively, and you've likely felt this without realizing it. That confusion, that mix of hope, longing, and uncertainty, you replay at 2:00 a.m., it isn't imaginary. Her body was sending messages quietly, clearly, in a language most men were never taught to understand, until now. The first thing to understand is this: a woman rarely hugs a man without purpose. Even a hug that seems friendly carries layers of meaning. Sometimes curiosity, sometimes respect, sometimes desire, and occasionally hesitation, tinged with longing. While you might not notice, her nervous system notices everything. Every micro movement, every shift of weight, every gentle squeeze or light brush of her hands carries an emotional signal. When she hugs you, her brain performs rapid split-second evaluations. Do I trust him? Do I feel safe? Am I drawn to him? Should I pull back? These thoughts don't necessarily reach her conscious mind. They manifest physically in the pressure of her embrace, the angle of her body, and the way she responds to your presence. What you feel, the softness, the stiffness, the warmth, the distance, is her emotional truth made tangible. A hug is never just a hug. It's a test, an assessment. She observes how you hold her, not for romantic perfection, not for appearances, but to gauge your emotional steadiness. Are you confident, hesitant, tense, or calm? Are you fully present, or are you distracted? She can sense these qualities in less than a second, and it shapes how she perceives you, even if she never says a word. The truth is that a woman's hug often reflects how she imagines the future with you. If she angles her body slightly away, she is protecting herself. If she melts into you, even briefly, it means her body trusts you in ways her mind might not yet acknowledge. If her hands move higher on your back, she is seeking closeness. If they stay low and stiff, she is cautious. That quick release, the tight but fleeting hold, is often misunderstood. It isn't a rejection, it's a woman feeling something she is not yet ready to show. Most men focus on words, on verbal cues. Women respond to feelings, and the hug is the bridge between the two. That subtle moment, just before her arms touch you, reveals how she has already decided who you are to her. Her body speaks before her words ever arrive. If you've walked away from a hug feeling confused, hopeful, or energized, it's because her nervous system communicated directly with yours. A woman's hug is not random and it is not casual. It's a map of her emotional landscape, her fears, her desires, her assessment of you. She is gauging your energy, your presence, your confidence. If your breathing shifts, your shoulders tighten, or you hold her too rigidly, she feels it. If you are grounded, she relaxes. A hug is insight into your internal state before she even consciously evaluates it. A woman doesn't just hug without intention. Every detail matters: how her hands touch your back, the pressure she applies, the angle of her body. These are subtle signals that reveal her emotional state. If her hands barely graze your back, she's holding herself back, cautious, quietly assessing whether she can trust you. If her palms press firmly, she is grounded, telling you without words, "I feel safe here." If her hands slide lower, steadying you, it signals vulnerability, a rare gesture reserved for someone she feels drawn to. And the hug where she squeezes with real emotion, that comes from a place deeper than conscious thought. It is instinct, honesty, and emotional openness all at once. Many men misread these signs because they focus on their own thoughts. Does she like me? What does this mean? Am I imagining it? They miss the truth happening right in front of them. A woman's hug is not a puzzle, it is a message. Her body communicates what her words may never reveal. She can smile, nod, or say she's fine, but in the moment of closeness, her physical expression tells the real story. Some of the most revealing hugs are the ones that leave you awake at night, replaying them. The lingering hug, where she doesn't pull away immediately, is emotional conflict in motion. She wants closeness but fears the consequences. She feels something but is unsure how it will affect her heart. Her body leans in while her mind tries to retreat. That tension, that push and pull, is not random. It's emotional honesty expressed without a word. There are also hugs that seem distant yet carry weight. She may hold you but feel emotionally burdened, not cold, not detached, just conflicted. These are women who care deeply but are weighed down by inner struggles. They hug you because there is attachment even when their emotions feel unsettled. And then there's the natural fluid hug, the one where she leans in effortlessly, her guard down, shoulders relaxed. This is emotional alignment, not lust or flirtation. It is a sign of trust, the quiet permission to connect without pretense. Understanding her hugs means noticing patterns over time. She rarely hugs the same way twice. Her embrace changes with how she feels about you, her growing trust, her fading certainty. A hug that was once short and stiff may now linger. Her body is beginning to relax, showing attachment even before she admits it aloud. If she hugs more lightly than before, she may be pulling back emotionally, protecting herself from disappointment. If she used to hug briefly and now lingers, her heart is opening, her guard lowering, her nervous system finding comfort in your presence. And the most difficult truth? Some women hug one last time while emotionally conflicted, deciding whether to stay, pull away, or let go. That hug feels heavy, different, as though she is trying to memorize your presence, find clarity, or answer the question, can I trust him with my future, or am I hoping he becomes that man? That is why a hug is never casual for her. It is a reflection of her inner world, her fears, her trust, and her emotional investment. Men who pay attention gain insight that most never achieve. They don't just analyze words, they feel presence, energy, emotional truth. Women respond to men who understand their silence, not just their speech. The next time she hugs you, softly, tightly, nervously, or lingering, don't overthink. Notice, feel, absorb. Her body is speaking, and in that brief moment, she is revealing the emotional reality she may never voice. Every hug from a woman is unique because it reflects a living, shifting emotional landscape. She rarely hugs the same way twice because her feelings toward you evolve. A hug can show growing trust, deepening attachment, hesitation, or subtle withdrawal. It is a living record of her emotional state, updated in real time. Paying attention to these signals gives you clarity far beyond any words or messages she might send. The lingering hug, the hesitant hug, the firm grounding hug, or the light, cautious embrace, all of them are pieces of a map. That map reveals how she feels about you, how she experiences safety, desire, vulnerability, and connection. A woman's hug is never random. It is the quiet, instinctual expression of her inner truth. And it can guide you in understanding her heart long before conversations ever take place. Some hugs are quick, almost fleeting, as though she's protecting herself from revealing too much. Others hold weight, pressing you into a moment of emotional honesty. And the most profound hugs, the ones that seem to last just a fraction longer than necessary, are often the ones that reveal her care, her hope, and sometimes her fear. She may be hesitant, conflicted, or emotionally overwhelmed, but even in those moments, her body is telling the truth. Understanding this subtle language of touch changes everything. Men who pay attention do not fall prey to confusion or misinterpretation. They recognize the quiet messages hidden in the way her hands rest, the angle of her body, the softness of her embrace. They notice the differences between her hugs over time, understanding that each one carries a story, a feeling, a measurement of trust and emotional investment. Hugs are more than physical gestures. They are conversations without words. They communicate emotional safety, connection, desire, and caution. They show attachment, fear, vulnerability, and trust. And when you learn to read them, you gain insight into her heart, her nervous system, and the way she experiences your presence in the world. The most powerful truth is this: a woman's hug is honest, instinctual, and impossible to fake for long. It is her body revealing what her mind might hide. Every slight hesitation, every lingering press, every grounding hand, and every careful distance is her emotional truth escaping unguarded in that instant. And if you can feel it, understand it, and respond with presence and stability, you are speaking her language in a way most men never learn. So the next time she hugs you, pause. Don't rush to analyze. Don't let your mind overtake your heart. Feel the energy. Notice the pressure, the angle, the movement. Listen to the story her body tells. Her hug may be brief, but it is profound, and it holds the answer to questions she may never voice. And now here's something personal for you to consider. Think back to a hug from a woman that stayed with you, the one that felt different, meaningful, unforgettable. Remember how it felt, why it mattered, and what her body was trying to tell you. That memory is more than nostalgia. It is a guide to understanding women in a way that words alone cannot convey. A hug is truth in motion. It is intimacy, connection, and clarity all at once. If you carry this awareness forward, you will never look at a hug the same way again. You will see the honesty in a touch, the trust in a gentle squeeze, and the vulnerability in a fleeting pause. You will understand her without needing explanations, and you will communicate with presence, confidence, and emotional clarity. That is the power of a woman's embrace, an unspoken, undeniable map of how she feels, what she fears, and who she chooses to trust.